that was Iraqi. He was from Baghdad, and he sit there, talk like you and me talk. Okay, he was 19 years old, and he was all excited about being a translator for the United States. That was great. Well, come to find out, he was actually giving them our locations, and had maps all in his room on where to, where we were going to be and what time. So they were actually focusing on these female Marines. They staged this ambush, and they had this guy. He was driving like a little S10, like the size of a Chevy S10 truck, and he had it loaded with like propane and all kinds of other, anything that explodes, I guess you could call it. And he pulled up to the side of the truck. I was facing the mosque at the time, so I didn't even know anything hit me until I was thrown out of the truck. So what he decided to do, he came up next to us, and he was told to get away by our security trucks. And so he got away, and he started driving off. Well, normally they're supposed to stop. Well, he never stopped. He just kept driving away. So they just kind of left him alone. Well, he spun around and came back and hit us right in our fuel tank. So, and as we were getting blown up, we ran over him, and it catapulted most of us out of the truck. Luckily, we got catapulted because most of us would be dead today if we wouldn't have. And the truck was going probably about 55, 60 miles an hour is how fast we went on these roads, because the faster you move, the better. And so you can imagine this truck, once it ran over this thing, it exploded, it started tumbling. So it was tumbling, throwing flames and people everywhere. So I think they told me, the guy that was behind us in the truck, I still talk to some of them, and he said that we flew about 150 to 200 yards, our truck did. I was flown out of the truck, and all I remember is my boots going up in the air and everything blacking out. And it was like I saw the light, and I was like, okay, God, I am not ready to go yet. And I remember telling him I wanted to see my family, and I wanted to, finish my career in the Marine Corps and, live my life, and all of a sudden I woke up, I came to, and I'm like walking. I didn't have my weapon had been thrown out of my hands. So I'm walking, and the Staff Sergeant Padmore, he's pretty cool. He's had like a Jamaican accent, so he was pretty funny. And he's like, Saalman, wake up, you're okay, you're alive. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm alive, oh yes, And I said, oh, Hail Mary. I said, Lord Jesus, thank God I'm alive. That's exactly what I kept saying over and over out loud. And of course, at the time, you don't think of anyone being around you that's anybody dead at the time. You're just thinking, wow, I'm not in pain, I'm good, I'm walking. So we were running to this wall, and we ended up hiding behind this wall, and then they just started shooting at us. And it was like the movies. If you ever watch a war movie and everything, there's like an explosion, and then it's like numbing sound, and it's mute, and then there's all like a buzzing noise or ringing noise in your ears, and that's exactly, and it slowly fades back into place where it's loud again. You're like, holy crap, we got get back to the truck. So there was a second truck behind us, and there was 15 Marines in it, fellow male Marines. And we were running to the truck, and we were dragging the person next to us and this person next to us, getting back in the truck. And finally, we get everybody in there, and there's just, I don't want to make it real graphic, so I'm not going to be real graphic with it, but there was a lot of bad injuries, a lot of blood, a lot of just awful things, And one of my female Marines, she had her leg almost blown off. I mean, compared to what we went through is nothing compared to what a lot of people lost their limbs. Nobody in that incident lost any type of, extra extremities, They lost their lives, and they lost, their minds, really. Your post-traumatic stress disorder is very intense for the first couple of years. Once we got on that truck, I just had this feeling that, oh my gosh, I'm alive, and I look around, and everything's still pinging. Our up armored truck, you just hear the bullets just pinging off of it, and you hear the 50 caliber machine gun, which is about this long, and it has like what they call a butterfly trigger, and it goes like, it was my favorite gun. I love this thing, but it goes ta 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 ta, and you're holding on to it, and it's just shooting at these guys across, and it'll stop a car in its tracks. The bullets are so big, and But we finally got them to stop shooting at us eventually, and we lost a guy, and his name was Pineda, and he was in the second vehicle, and he was shot, and while he was coming around the truck, and another guy was, a lot of them were badly injured just in the second vehicle because of bullet injuries, you know. So, but anyway, so we get on the truck, we take off. Of course, we're booking at 60 miles an hour, and the rest of the convoy is staying back to fight off the ambush. And of course, I just started singing. You know, I just started singing "America the Beautiful." And a lot of them weren't too keen on me singing it, but I said, well, when I'm scared or I'm freaked out, I just start singing. I didn't know the moment it was so silent in the back of that truck, and the wind was blowing. You could hear the gunfire in the background. And God shed His grace on thee. But I found out that, you know, a couple of my, you know, three of my my unit Marines had died, and then the convoy commander, who was the passenger in the truck, he was in charge of the convoy of, you know, accounting of people and where to go and what road to take and all this. So that's his job. And then the gunner was killed, and the driver actually only had a scratch on his forehead, and of course post-traumatic stress disorder, I'm sure. But he did everything he was supposed to do, and everybody did everything they were supposed to do that day. And crown thy good with brotherhood. I was burned on both my hands. Luckily, I am pale white, so you can't see my scars as well as what you could with someone with darker skin. I had burns across my back, my lower back, because I was facing away from the explosion. I was the last one on the truck on the driver's side, so I was the furthest from the explosion. So my other injuries, my hair was singed off my back of my neck, like my actual hair up here, and then I had flash burn on my face, and then I had I have a chip out of my ankle, like my foot's all weird. And then I have, of course, post-traumatic stress disorder, and I had traumatic brain injury because I hit the ground pretty hard.